Dun, 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 dun.
Well, if Tom Holland is playing the subject of the film here, this is going to drive all his fans crazy. This ain't Spider-Man. He's a little more inner tormented. It seems far less heroic, but I'd say in this case he's a very sympathetic man. So we have a new film from Apple TV called Cherry. This is a long movie too, by the way. It's clocking in apparently on IMDb at 2 hours and 20 minutes. It's a new crime drama that's releasing later in March of this year. And this is what it says on IMDb. Again, this is a very sophisticated story. An army medic suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder becomes a serial bank robber after an addiction to drugs puts him in debt. I have talked about this for a long time on this channel with the effects of PTSD on people. And I've really learned this. I'll again bring this case up, but I know I brought it up before. I think I brought it up to Clint Eastwood's, what was it? The Mule, which was a different movie. But it did orient around a former military vet. But I saw this story, or this song actually, years ago by Five Finger Death Punch, which is a very well-known American rock metal group, if you guys are familiar with them. I mean, I like a lot of their music. Some of it, I prefer the clean versions, which are available. A lot of the music tends to have a lot of swearing in it. I'm like, well, I'm not a big fanny person. But again, I love some of the themes of their music. And they had one song in particular called Wrong Side of Heaven, which really gave you an introduction into the lives of military soldiers in terms of the people that you don't often think about every day, but that are really, everywhere among us. I mean, it was really sad. I mean, honestly, I would recommend everybody go and see that video because it really is alarming. It's very alarming, people in our military, the people that we should be paying the most respect to, how hard their lives really are when they come back from war. In this case with Tom Holland, this is a very sophisticated role for him. Oh, and Joe and Anthony Russo are involved here. Very interesting. Very interesting, actually. And Jack Raynor's in it, too. But you're dealing with a story right now that, look at somebody struggling with PTSD. And he was I guess he's an army medic, but still, he was in a military capacity. And then obviously he's going through a drug addiction. Now he's a serial bank robber. And now he's facing debt. I mean, this is a tragic, or a very sympathetic man in terms of what he's been through. Because again, PTSD and drug addictions can really mess people up. It's a very sophisticated story. It's going to be certainly, I think, an emotional one for a lot of us to watch. The reason I said, Spider-Man, it's like, well, Spider-Man's just like this spunky kid. He's not a former veteran coming back from war with PTSD that spirals into drug addiction and then bank robbery. I mean, this is a very different role. So I'm pretty sure probably most people could be screaming, or not screaming, but being sympathetic in that theater seats, but they're home seats, let's just say, at this type of role. It's a very nuanced one, but, I'm a huge fan of Tom Holland, and mad respect to him for taking this. So let's take a look at Cherry. We are going to watch this first, and we'll talk about it more by condensed yourself us watching the video together. Okay, the first trailer. Let us give this a look. Here we go. Go back. Okay.
I'm 23 years old, and sometimes I wonder if life was wasted on me.
Yeah, it's definitely Apple.
I take all the
that beautiful logo.
Till I about die from it.
That's beautiful how they did that. Great song choice too.
Hey, I'm really happy you're here.
Why is that?
Because I like you. But there never seems to be enough time to do. You're it for me.
I feel the same way.
I joined the army.
Why would you do that?
Sometimes I feel like I've already seen everything that's gonna happen. And it's a nightmare.
And he was a medic too, I mean.
My one true accomplishment was not dying. I have this noise in my head.
It'll stop. One day it'll go quiet.
I don't imagine that anyone goes in for a robbery if they're not in some kind of desperation. I've been at this a while now, and it's no secret what my face looks like.
Get on the ground!
One thing about robbing banks is you're mostly robbing women, so the last thing you want to be is rude. Ma'am, it's nothing personal.
You're gonna make it through this. I love you.
Can you look back to when you met the one you loved the most? And remember exactly how it was? What you saw in her that made you say, yes, this is what I came here for.
It's a very deep story.
Sometimes
I'm
I
really
feel like
impressed
I've
with the
already seen everything
presentation.
that's gonna happen. And it's a nightmare.
Wow. And it's in theaters too. Good on that film to get such a prominent release. Well, it's in theaters. It's a couple days away, so I'm filming this. I might actually go to the theater to watch this. I do believe in championing this movie. I did see, like, at least some of the content there. It's going to be, it looked like it definitely skewed more to an adult audience, and probably some scenes I'll probably look away for. It was like one in particular. It was a really quick flash, but it's coming out like way ahead of the Apple TV release date. Interesting. Maybe it's in like select theaters. Maybe it doesn't specify that, or maybe it's in all theaters. I'm not sure. That's a very deep release. I mean, if there's ever a window to give society as a whole a larger perspective into how PTSD affects people, because we need, especially in today's society. I mean, again, watch that video that I mentioned to you. I've said it how many times at this point, so many different videos now. Wrong Side of Heaven. It really does illuminate your perspective in terms of what veterans go through. It is extremely, it's of extreme importance that we help these people. They need it. I've read how many stories about people that have gone through PTSD. I've seen how many movies. I've covered plenty on this channel as well, with former military veterans who are going through that, and their lives just spiral completely out of control. And you're seeing this here, but you're literally seeing this so beautifully, beautifully done movie. And it's just a fabulous show, but the editing here is just great, really phenomenal. But you're literally seeing this guy, you're just spiraling through life. Downhill spiral, but he feels like, again, he's gotten home from war. This is his... You just feel limited. You feel held back in ways. Because, again, you're coming into it with just all these... with all this damage that's been done to you, and there's no real way to funnel it out. It takes time, and for a lot of people, it never fully goes away. From what I've seen, it's hard. It's really hard to read it, because you read about those people that just give up their lives. They're so sacrificial in nature, and their lives are destroyed by it. People need to see these types of stories. We really need to become more aware of the people around us, especially when you're dealing with military veterans. This is something of extreme importance I really hope we can take forward as a society and help people who truly are desperate for healing. This is good. I'm very impressed with Tom Holland. He should be very proud of himself for this movie. He's a part of this. And I'm so impressed with it. I really am. So if I don't end up seeing it in theaters, which I really want to, I will definitely watch it as an Apple TV. This looks solid. And I would definitely say if there's an ever trailer that's going to come out for Cherry, I will happily give it a look. That was really, really impressive. Very high quality, and the story that a lot of people, I think, need to hear. What do you guys think about Cherry? Let me know down below. Don't forget to look at stuff, like, subscribe, that bell. Until our next Apple TV release, I'm not sure it'll get that deep, but we'll see. That's really good. Really good. But until whatever trailer we get to look at next for some of their programs, or whatever trailer we get to look at next year, just by and large, I'll see you guys at that point. But for now, thanks for watching this video. I love you guys. Remember, live with a fellow man. God bless, and peace.